Demonstrating that police chases are something that happens practically all over the world, this driver, who was out of control, caused moments of tension in the province of Shaanxi, in China. On board an enormous wheel loader, a somewhat inexplicable pursuit began. What started as a simple traffic argument quickly transformed into a truly dangerous situation, as the subject consciously tried to knock down everything in his path. A patrol car, wanting to mediate the situation, tried to block the suspect's path, not thinking that the guy, instead of stopping, intensified the pursuit with the intention of damaging the patrol car. After several minutes of weaving between lanes, the guy in the wheel loader hit several cars and even a motorcyclist before being forcibly stopped and arrested. Although Denver may have a reputation for having a major livestock industry, this fugitive undoubtedly decided to take it too far. Thomas Bush, 37 years old, caused a stir on social media when, after stealing a John Deere tractor from the Denver Water Utility Company, he began a low-speed pursuit through the city streets. The issue is that despite going at a low speed, this individual recklessly decided to drive against traffic and on sidewalks, putting all civilians in the area at risk. That's why a couple of brave officers decided to crash their patrol car into the agricultural tractor in order to stop the pursuit, fortunately resulting in only minor injuries. However, to detain Thomas, 2 taser discharges and a police dog were needed. The terrible combination of alcohol and intrusive thoughts can result in awful decisions when you are an 18-year-old guy at 3 a.m. For this delinquent, it seemed like an excellent idea to steal a bulldozer and drive it calmly through the streets of Kankakee, Illinois, but what he didn't expect was that the police officers in his county wouldn't find this idea to be funny. In his pathetic attempt to evade the officers, the delinquent even backed up at full speed to run over one of the patrol cars, from which its driver fortunately managed to escape in time. After following him for a dozen blocks, or approximately 4 miles, the officers were able to pull him from the seat of the bulldozer and arrest him, presenting him before a judge to face up to 6 felonies, including driving under the influence and evading arrest. In a similar way, but setting the bar even higher, was what happened in Virginia in June 2018. During routine training, a 29-year-old soldier, allegedly under the influence of narcotics, stole an M577 armored personnel carrier, taking it from the Fort Pickett National Guard base to the urban area of Richmond via state highways. Curiously, this tracked vehicle can only reach a top speed of approximately 40 miles per hour. For more than 2 hours, dozens of patrol cars followed him closely until, inside the urban area, they were finally able to stop him as he tried to cross a median. Even so, it was necessary to use a taser to immobilize and arrest the fugitive, who was a first lieutenant with more than 11 years of service and was fortunately unarmed. The armored vehicle was returned to the military base, while the soldier was handed over to the competent authorities.
Downtown Richmond, the APC came to a stop.
The suspect radios his boss as he's under FBI.
Captured by a helicopter's cameras, this incident happened because of the mental health problems of the driver who was operating this unit. At a certain point in his route, the individual began to drive erratically, swerving into other lanes and even lightly hitting other vehicles, knocking off rearview mirrors. This situation worsened when the driver himself radioed his boss, saying that he supposedly had orders from the FBI not to stop. After this, he entered an on-ramp heading into an urban area, creating the perfect recipe for disaster by driving at high speed with a 9-ton truck through narrow streets and past parked cars. The officers, feeling powerless as they couldn't ram the truck, and knowing that spike strips could take hours to deflate the tires, watched in despair as the subject even ran red lights. Finally, at an intersection, the vehicle lost control and flipped over while trying to make a tight turn. Thanks to this, the individual was arrested.
They've got him. They're putting the cuffs on. They've got this guy under control now after this terrifying pursuit.
Many times, what seems to be a routine job for officers can turn into total chaos. Proof of this happened with a pair of sheriff's deputies in Miami County, Ohio, when they tried to talk to a suspect who had an outstanding arrest warrant. Upon realizing their presence, this delinquent didn't think twice and fled aboard the skid steer loader he was driving while working. Despite being a practically low-speed pursuit due to the environment they were in, one of the officers was forced to follow the fugitive on foot, even jumping onto the machine to try to stop him. Unfortunately, some irresponsible maneuvers by the fugitive caused him to fall, so he could not keep up with him and finally lost sight of him. They later found the construction equipment abandoned in a creek, adding more charges for the delinquent when he is finally detained. What started as a report of debris blocking the highway quickly turned into a spectacular low-speed pursuit. Upon arriving, the police couldn't overlook the enormous excavator, stolen from a nearby construction site because the keys were left in it, which was intentionally damaging Florida's legendary 7-mile bridge. Driving at less than 15 miles per hour, this pursuit lasted for more than 90 minutes. The officers' onboard cameras captured how the excavator damaged the pavement as it went, until they were finally able to stop the delinquent, approximately 59 years old, who surprisingly did not appear to be under the influence of any substance. Due to the destruction, the bridge had to remain closed until at least 3:30 a.m., although with some visible damage, including the loss of most of the reflectors on the lanes. Seeing an enormous tracked construction machine with a large shovel at the front trying to cross the highway is by no means an ordinary sight that any citizen of North Charleston, South Carolina would see, much less at 3:30 a.m. This happened recently in June 2025, when a 53-year-old man stole an excavator, severely damaging the business from which he took it. Annoyed at having their sleep interrupted, and at the same time disappointed at not having a little action, the officers began a very low-speed pursuit that lasted more than an hour, moving at barely 3 miles per hour. Ironically, the officers had to stop every few minutes to avoid passing the excavator. The chase ended, but only because the tracks got stuck near the county fairgrounds. Although the fugitive tried to escape on foot, a drone along with a police dog and its handler were able to stop him quickly.